Assalamu alaikum. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt that little bit of frustration, that disappointment, when you ask an AI for something amazing and what you get back is, well, it's just generic, it's uninspired, it's bland? If that sounds familiar, you are in exactly the right place today. It's a really common feeling, believe me, but the solution is actually surprisingly simple. And here's the secret. It's not about getting a better AI, it's about getting better at talking to it. So today we're going to unlock the science of prompts. I'm going to show you how to talk to AI effectively so you can get precisely what you want from your AI partner every single time. Welcome back, everyone, to our channel, Digital Future AI School. The incredible insights and the framework we're going to break down today are drawn directly from Chapter 8 of the fantastic book, AI, Your Smartest Partner in Life and Work, written by Zahir Ahmad Mir. This is our 8th explainer in the series, and trust me, this one is a game changer. We're about to dive into a system that will fundamentally change how you interact with artificial intelligence. It's going to transform it from just a simple tool into a genuine expert-level teammate. And hey, just a quick reminder before we really get into the good stuff. Your support is what lets us create more of these deep dive explainers. It means the world to us. So if you find this valuable, and I really think you will, please just take a quick second to subscribe to the channel, give this explainer a like, and maybe share it with friends or colleagues who could use it. We really appreciate it. Now, let's get started. Okay, let's dive right in. We're going to start with a problem that is so universal, I'm pretty sure every single person watching has faced it. It's that sinking feeling, that moment of frustration when you ask an AI for something creative or insightful, and what you get back is, well, it's just boring. It's generic, it's completely uninspired. Our goal today is to move you from that state of frustration all the way to a state of fascination. So let me ask you directly, have you ever felt that? That feeling that the AI just isn't getting it? You know it's this powerful, incredible technology. You've seen the amazing things it can do for other people, but for some reason, your own results are just falling flat. Look, you are not alone in this, not at all. And more importantly, it's not your fault. You just haven't been given the right instruction manual for how to use this thing properly. Well, until now. This slide right here shows the core of the issue perfectly. I call it the input/output trap. Just look at this example. On the left, a really weak, really vague prompt. Write about marketing. I mean, what can the AI possibly do with that? It's so broad. So it does its best, and it gives you back exactly what you asked for. A generic, completely unhelpful summary of marketing that, honestly, you could have found on the first page of a Google search in 2 seconds. It's the classic unbreakable rule of all computing, and it's more true for AI than anything else. Garbage in, garbage out. And that leads us to this crucial point. The problem isn't some fundamental limitation of the AI. The technology itself is unbelievably capable. The problem, which means it's also the opportunity, is in how we communicate with it. We've got to shift our whole approach. We need to stop making these lazy one-line requests and start having detailed, structured conversations where we provide the AI with everything it could possibly need to succeed on our behalf. Okay, so this brings us to a really fundamental shift in our mindset. We have to stop treating our interactions with AI like it's some kind of random guesswork, where we just throw a question at the wall and hope something good sticks. That's not a strategy. We need to start treating it like a science, a repeatable, reliable process. We're moving away from just asking a question, and we're moving towards providing the AI with a complete and detailed blueprint for success. This quote from the book really reframes our entire understanding of what a prompt is. It is not just a command. Let's think about what that really means for a second. It's a conversation where you provide the necessary details, the background, the why. It's a blueprint that shows the AI the exact final structure you want the output to have, and it's a strategy that literally guides the AI's internal thinking process to get there. You see the difference? You're not just telling it what to do, you're guiding its entire approach from start to finish. So what is a modern, effective prompt? Well, it is so much more than a simple question. It's really a comprehensive instruction packet. Think of it like that. Of course, it's got to contain the core request, but it also needs a reasoning framework, vital context about the situation, a specific role for the AI to adopt, and a very clear structure for the final output. It's a complete package, and it's meticulously designed for one thing: success. And this right here is the main takeaway of this whole section. Getting those world-class, expert-level results from an AI, it is not an accident. It doesn't happen by chance or by luck. It happens when your prompting is intentional, when it's structured, and when it's deliberate. It is a repeatable science, and today we are going to learn the exact formula.
All right, let's move on to the practical solution. Let's see how this all comes together. We are now going to explore the expert prompt framework from the book. I really want you to think of this as the master key, the one key that will unlock the true collaborative potential of your AI partner. This is the how-to part you've been waiting for.
And here it is, the HGCDRS framework. Okay, I know, at first glance that might look a little complex, a bit intimidating, but it's actually an incredibly logical and powerful structure. And it's surprisingly easy to use once you get the hang of it. Just think of it as a checklist you run through before you hit enter. We have H for hat, which is the expert role, G for goal, the final outcome you want, C for context, the background info, D for data, the raw material you need to provide, and then we have two more advanced but super powerful elements, R for requirements, which covers style and format, and S for steps, which guides the AI's actual reasoning. Let's break each one down.
First up, H is for hat. This is so important. This is where you tell the AI who it should be. You're giving it a persona. By assigning it a specific expert role, like a lawyer, a doctor, or a marketing strategist, you are fundamentally changing its entire reasoning framework. See, the AI was trained on a universe of text that includes countless different voices and styles. Giving it a hat primes it, it tunes it in to access the specific knowledge and the communication style of that role. An AI told to think like a lawyer will analyze a problem focusing on risk and precedent, which is completely different than one asked to think like a software architect who's going to focus on efficiency and scalability. This is the foundation of a great prompt. And here are some fantastic, really concrete examples from the book. Instead of just asking a vague question, you begin with a directive. When you say act as a high court judge, you're not just asking for an opinion, you're demanding impartiality, formal reasoning, a structured argument. When you tell it, act as a marketing strategist, you're telling it to automatically think about target audiences, about messaging, about ROI. This simple first step, putting on the hat, it instantly elevates the quality and the specificity of the response you're going to get. It's amazing. Next up, we have G for goal. This part is all about being crystal clear about the final, tangible product you want. What do you want in your hands at the end of this? Is it a 3-paragraph summary? Is it a bulleted list of 20 ideas? Or is it a completely rewritten company policy document? It's like telling a taxi driver your exact street address and apartment number before the trip even begins. If you just get in and say, drive downtown, you're going to waste time, you're going to waste energy, and you'll probably end up in the wrong place. Vague goals will always lead to wandering, unfocused outputs. Just look at how clear these goal statements are. Notice the huge difference between a weak prompt, like tell me about this report, and an expert goal statement. Your goal is to create a 1-page summary of the attached report for an executive audience. You see that? The first one is a wish. The second one is a well-defined task. Your goal is to generate 20 creative concepts. That gives it a concrete, measurable outcome. This level of clarity leaves absolutely no room for the AI to misinterpret what you want. Now we get to C, for context. This is the background information. This is the why behind your request. Why are you asking for this in the first place? Who is the intended audience for the final product? What are the limitations or the specific constraints of the situation you're in? Providing good context is what separates a generic one-size-fits-all answer from a tailored, highly relevant solution that actually works for you. It's the information that allows the AI to understand your world and your specific needs. It's absolutely crucial. Then we have D for data, and listen, this one is absolutely critical, especially for factual accuracy. If you want the AI to analyze a specific report or summarize an article you just read or work with your company's latest sales figures, you must provide that material directly in the prompt. By giving the data yourself, you are grounding the AI in facts. This is the single best way to prevent what's known as hallucination. That's when an AI makes up confident-sounding information because it just doesn't know the real answer. Providing data is like giving the AI an open book test. It ensures the answers are based on reality, not on guesswork. Now we get to the more advanced elements of the framework, starting with R for requirements. This is where you really become the director of the final output. You get to specify all the constraints, the writing style, the tone of voice, the exact word count, the complexity of the language, and the final format. A film director doesn't just tell an actor to be sad. They give specific notes on performance. Requirements are your directorial notes for the AI, and they shape the final product to your exact specifications. And here are some really simple yet incredibly powerful examples. Let's imagine you need a marketing email. You could specify, use a persuasive and energetic tone.
keep the total length under 200 words, please use simple English, and format the key benefits as a bulleted list. Look at that. With just a few requirements, you've given the AI an incredibly clear set of rules to follow, and you're refining the output until it is perfect for your purpose. And finally, we have S for steps. Now, this is the most advanced part of the framework, and it's where you gain the ultimate quality control. Here, you're not just telling the AI what to do, you're telling it how to think. You actually outline a specific step-by-step reasoning process for it to follow. For example, first, I want you to analyze the provided customer feedback. Second, identify the top 3 most common complaints. Third, for each of those complaints, brainstorm 2 potential solutions. This forces the AI to show its work and build a logical, defensible argument from the ground up. So when you put all of these elements together, the hat, the goal, the context, the data, the requirements, and the steps, something truly amazing happens. Your entire relationship with AI, it just transforms. It stops being this slightly unreliable search engine or just a simple tool, and it becomes a true professional partner. It becomes a collaborator that you can direct with incredible precision. This is what becomes possible when you start using this framework consistently. You can effectively build an entire virtual team of experts right there on your laptop, available 24/7. You need deep analysis of a legal document? It can be your lawyer. You need to brainstorm a brand new marketing campaign? It's your strategist. You need to understand a complex scientific paper? It becomes your researcher. The possibilities are no longer limited by the AI. They are unlocked by the quality of your prompts. So, we're going to end on this thought. You now have the framework. Instructions to an AI. It really is a new kind of superpower. And in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly how you can master it. So here's our game plan for today. First, we're going to unpack why prompting is being called the new superpower. What's the big deal? Then, and this is the core of it, I'm going to walk you through the blueprint for a perfect prompt. After that, we'll see it in action with some real-world examples. Then we'll get into the pro-level stuff, how to refine your results. And finally, we'll zoom out and look at what this all means for the future of how we get things done. All right, let's kick things off with our first section, the new superpower. I want to be really clear here. This is so much more than just typing a simple question into a chatbot. This is about taking deliberate, precise control over your AI tools to get exactly the output you need. Think of it this way. Anyone can sit in the passenger seat of a car, but learning to prompt is like getting your driver's license. You are in control, you decide the destination, and you know how to navigate to get there. The source material really hits the nail on the head with this quote. Prompting is the literacy of the modern world. Let that sink in for a second. Just like how reading and writing became the essential skills that powered the industrial age, being able to communicate effectively with AI is quickly becoming the baseline skill for today's world. It's truly the new universal language for collaborating with these incredibly powerful new partners. And this brings us to what is basically the first law of working with AI. The quality of your output depends entirely on the quality of your input. You've probably heard the old saying, garbage in, garbage out, and it has never been more true than it is right here. The AI isn't a mind reader, right? It's a powerful engine, but it runs on the fuel you give it. If you give it a vague, lazy prompt, you're going to get a vague, lazy answer. But if you give it a sharp, detailed, well-structured prompt, well, that's when you get something incredibly valuable in return. The big takeaway is that you are in the driver's seat. You control the quality. So that's the big question, isn't it? How do we ensure quality? How do we move from hoping for a good result to engineering one? Well, that brings us to the real heart of this explainer, the perfect prompt blueprint. This is a simple but incredibly powerful, repeatable formula that you can use to get predictable, high-quality results from pretty much any AI model out there. We're officially moving from theory to a hands-on strategy you can start using today. Okay, before I reveal the whole blueprint, I want to zoom in on what I think is the absolute secret sauce, the steps component. See, most people just tell an AI what to produce. Write me an email or summarize this article. But the pros, they tell the AI how to think. By giving the AI a clear sequence of steps, first do this, then analyze that, and finally conclude with this. You are forcing it to follow a logical, structured path. It's a simple trick, but it's a game changer. It guides the AI away from making silly mistakes and pushes it towards a much more accurate and robust analysis. And here it is, the full anatomy of a perfect prompt. It's a 6-part structure. Let's walk through it. Number 1, you give the AI a role. This is like casting an actor in a play. You tell it, act as a financial analyst or act as a creative director. This primes its knowledge base. Number 2,
You define a crystal clear goal. What is the specific outcome you want? Number 3, you provide context. Where does this task fit in? Who is it for? Then number 4, you might provide some data for it to work with. Number 5 is crucial, the requirements. This is where you specify the tone, the length, the format. And finally, number 6, you give it those all-important steps, that logical pathway we just talked about. Each piece builds on the last to create an absolutely airtight instruction that leaves nothing to chance. All right, so we have the blueprint. That's the theory. Now let's see how it actually works in the real world. I want to show you 3 examples from completely different fields. We're talking legal, business, and creative, just to prove how powerful and versatile this structure really is. First up, a legal prompt. Now look closely at how it uses our blueprint. The role? Act as a senior constitutional lawyer. Immediately, the AI knows what hat to wear. The goal? Prepare a 2-page legal argument. Super specific. It gives some context, and then, boom, look at the steps. Summarize, analyze, conclude. This structure doesn't just ask for information. It forces the AI to build a logical, persuasive argument from the ground up. And what's the result? You get a professional, structured legal argument that actually follows a clear logical flow. This is the magic right here. It demonstrates that when you give the AI the right instructions, it can execute incredibly high-level professional tasks. The quality of what you get out is a direct mirror of the quality of what you put in. Okay, let's switch gears and apply the exact same structure to a business problem. The role is now a management consultant. The goal is a strategic analysis. And check out the requirements. Provide a SWOT analysis and a final recommendation. And once again, the steps are the engine, dictating the exact analytical framework to use. Evaluate the market, then competition, then financials, then risk. It's literally like commissioning a mini consulting project with a single, perfect prompt. And the outcome of that prompt? A comprehensive strategic analysis that's basically ready for a business presentation. This isn't just some vague summary of pros and cons. It's an actionable document built on a solid framework. This is how you can use AI for real, high-level strategic thinking, and it can save you hours, maybe even days of initial research and drafting. Now, to really show off the range of this blueprint, let's look at a creative task. The role is a professional book designer. The goal is to come up with 10 cover concepts. But look at the genius of the steps here. First, describe the target audience, then propose design ideas. This is brilliant. It grounds the entire creative process in strategic thinking about the end user. It's not just random ideas, it's targeted creativity. So, what do you get? Not just a random list, but 10 distinct and targeted book cover concepts, each with a clear creative direction behind it. What these 3 examples prove, beyond a shadow of a doubt, is that this blueprint isn't just for analytical tasks. It can structure brainstorming and guide creative development just as effectively. It doesn't matter if you're in law, business, or art. A clear structure will always produce better results. Okay, so you've used the blueprint, you've crafted your perfect prompt, and you've got a great first draft back from the AI. But here's the thing, the real pros, they don't stop there. For them, that initial output is just the beginning of a conversation. So let's dive into the techniques that separate the good results from the truly expert-level ones. This is the question that I know is on everyone's mind. What do you do if the result is, say, 90% there? It's good, but it's not perfect. Do you just throw it away and start all over again with a new prompt? Absolutely not. You refine. The pro method is called iterative prompting. And the key insight here is to stop treating the AI like a vending machine where you put in a coin and get one thing out. Start treating it like a very smart, very fast junior analyst. Give it feedback. As you can see, you can ask it to expand on a point, shorten a paragraph, simplify complex language, or change the tone from formal to casual. You can even point out its errors and ask it to correct them, or ask for a few different alternatives. Each of these follow-up commands is like a sculptor's tool, chipping away and shaping the output until it's absolutely perfect. Now let's talk about a truly advanced strategy, something that the top AI labs and power users are doing right now, the multi-model workflow. The core idea is simple. No single AI model is the best at everything. One model might be an incredible creative writer, while another is an absolute genius at logical reasoning and code. So the pros don't just pick one favorite model. They use them together like a team, leveraging the unique strengths of each one. And the benefits of doing this are just huge. By running the same prompt through different models, you can cross-reference their outputs to dramatically increase accuracy. You can reduce bias, because one model's blind spot might be another's strength. You can even use one model that's great at brainstorming to generate 100 rough ideas, and then feed the best of those ideas to a different model that excels at logical analysis to refine them into a solid plan. It's like having a whole team of specialized experts at your fingertips, and it leads to a far more creative, robust, and reliable final product. So let's pull all these threads together. We've looked at the core principle of quality in, quality out. We've broken down the 6-part blueprint for success, and we've explored advanced techniques like iterative prompting and multi-model workflows. But what does mastering this new superpower really mean for the future of how we give instructions? Here's the most important takeaway of all. We are quickly moving beyond just generating text. The same principles of crafting clear, structured prompts are now being applied to AI agents that can actually take action in the digital world. Your prompts are becoming workflows. Soon, you won't just ask for a summary. You'll say, go to this website, extract this specific data, put it into a spreadsheet, and then email it to my team. This skill transforms AI from a simple conversationalist into a powerful digital worker that can automate incredibly complex tasks for you. When you master this skill, you are literally granting yourself a whole suite of new superpowers. You gain influence because you can articulate your ideas with precision. You gain accuracy in your work. You unlock incredible speed and productivity. You gain new creative power and strategic insight. It's more than just a professional advantage. It's a form of what I'd call intellectual empowerment. You're no longer just a passive consumer of technology. You become its active director. And so we end right back where we started, with this incredibly powerful idea. Prompting is the universal skill that unlocks AI's full potential. It's the key. It's the language. It is the fundamental literacy for this new era we're entering. Mastering this isn't just a nice-to-have skill anymore. It's becoming absolutely essential for anyone who wants to not just survive, but thrive. So, I'll leave you with this one final question to think about. Now that you have the blueprint, now that you understand the strategy, how are you going to use it? How will you guide AI to make better decisions, to conduct sharper analyses, and to create truly superior outcomes in your life and your work?